Well, hello everyone and welcome to Broke to BMW Webinar 10. Wow, I don't know about you, but I just think the last year or nearly year has gone so quickly. And I know that some of you have done some amazing things in that time, and some of you have also pulled apart your lives and your businesses and trying to piece it back together now, which is also a very, very exciting time. So as always, I've opened the chat box up. And because we haven't been online for a couple of months, I have missed you, I must be honest. And I'm glad that so many of you could be on the webinar tonight, being a public holiday as well. So well done to you for jumping online tonight and being on the webinar and just continuing the journey. We have got a full bus tonight, so if you can all say hello in the chat box, and also, as always, let me know if the sound is coming through clearly. I have got the headset plugged in because it is a bit warm in my office and I've got the AC on. So I've got my headset plugged in. Hopefully you can hear everything okay. Someone can just say hello and let me know that the sound's good. We will get stuck into it. It does take a few seconds for your messages to show up, so I just want to make sure we're good to go before I get into the meaty bits of tonight's webinar. Can you hear me? I think you can. Just waiting for someone to say hello. Yay, you can hear me. Awesome. I thought you could. Thanks, Maria, for letting me know. And hello. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. So for those that are new, because some of you have literally just hopped on the bus, and I believe in the last couple of weeks, you have absorbed, and well done for doing this, you have absorbed the last 9 months of webinars, and which is a fair bit of content to go through, and there's certainly going to be a lot of activities and exercises that you will be working through excuse me, to catch up with where we're at. But that's all great. You are where you are, and it's great to have you on board. So I'll let you say hello in the chat box there without getting too distracted, but definitely say hello, ask questions, chat to each other, and make it very interactive. I'm very relaxed, as you all know, and I want to make sure that you're getting the best out of these webinars. As much as, you know, it's great me giving up my time. This is my give back project to you. I do want to make sure that there is a result out of this, because it's not just about me sitting here waffling onto my computer screen. It is about you guys getting what you need out of it, and me sharing all the behind the scenes sort of strategies, I guess, of going broke to BMW. So if we're all ready, and I think most of you are now logged in, starting to log in, great, let's get started. So what we're going to cover tonight is we're going to be going through month 10 of the book. So those that have the book, certainly I'm sure you've read it already, but if you haven't, then after you listen to this webinar, jump into month 10 and read through the chapter and do the exercises in there, because the webinar is actually extra things. We do touch on some of the things in the book, definitely, but this webinar is all about adding extra things to the book to give it more information, to give you more examples, to give you more exercises of things to work on. So it's good to have the book as a workbook. For those that don't have the book, I'll tell you a bit later on how to get it. The site is down at the moment. The Great Gremlins have got in there, but it's very easy to order. You can just send me an email and I'll get that out to you tomorrow in the post. We are going to touch on the journey so far. I do like to kind of, maybe everyone can just in the chat box, just let me know, maybe in a sentence, how's it going for you? How are you finding the journey so far? I know some of you have actually dramatically changed your businesses, and some of you are still in the same business, but you've gotten tighter with your systems and processes. You're getting tighter with what you will and won't accept from your clients, and clearly kind of outlining what your business is all about and what what you will accept as a client and what you won't. And that's really, really good. And I know that it can be hard initially because sometimes you will lose some clients. Actually, most times you will lose some clients. However, it's a cleansing process that needs to happen, because sometimes we have clients that we work with that are actually not our avatar, and they're actually not meant to be people that we're working with at the moment. And they will suck your energy dry, normally don't pay well, normally default payments, normally they're difficult. Then they actually do nothing with your information or your product or your service anyway, and go off and complain. So it can be a cleansing process. It's a bit shocking to your bank balance when it happens. And I go through it every couple of months, 5, 6 months. I kind of have a look at it, see what's working, see who's working, who's doing the things that are being taught. And sometimes I cleanse out and restart again, because we all need to do it. So I'd love to just, have it in the chat box as we're going through. Just let me know where you're up to, how you're going with the journey so far. And of course, you know me, I'm the why woman. I will always be talking about your why and how important it is. And the ones that have found it, are you tweaking it along the way? Some of you I know have found your why already and your purpose in life, and that's great. And you've tweaked it and adjusted it and infused it into your business, which is awesome. And you'll probably notice that you're starting to get better results now. The ones that are coming to Y Weekend in March, which is really only 2 months away now, which is very, very exciting. It's going to be fantastic for you, because you'll come back. We would have finished the Broke to BMW series by then, and you will come back from the workshop not only fine-tuning your why and getting absolute clarity around that, but you'll also then be getting the how-to strategies on the Sunday. And the highs and lows of the journey. Now, some of you message me privately, which I absolutely love. And please, I don't bite very hard. No, I don't bite at all. And I do love hearing from you. And I do love hearing when you're having a bad day or a struggle. And I also love hearing your wins. So, I don't always get back to you, straight away, because I'm doing my stuff, doing my thing, as someone suggested I call it yesterday. But even though I'm doing my thing, I do still want to hear from you, and I will always get back to you within a couple of days. So please, please, please share your wins, share your lows with me as well. You just don't know. Sometimes it could just be a comment I make, or a strategy or a tip that I share with you that's worked for me, that could just turn it around for you. So always share. I'm a big sharer. And your mindset. Now, we've just come off the back of a pretty festive season, and some of you have had a beautiful holiday and gone away. I'd love to hear about that as well. But those that have been, nose to the grindstone like me, and just had a couple of days off and doing what we love to do and planning for the year, and really getting stuck into it early, the key with this is, if you haven't taken time off, and this goes for me included, you must make sure that this year has balance for you. And this is so important. Some of you may have noticed today that I've started a new Facebook page, one of my millions of Facebook pages that I run. I am a bit of a Facebook tart, as you know. And the new page is called Shah Fit. And it literally is just a page. There's no business or product or anything associated with it yet. But no, it's just a page for us to all hold each other accountable for the fit side of our life. Now, it could be a 2-minute walk around the block. It could be sit-ups that you do at your desk, anything you like. It doesn't matter. But if you're going to do it, share it, because your effort will encourage the other people in Shah Fit to say, well, if she can do that, I can do that, because I know she has one more children than me, or one more child than me rather, and or she has another business than I do, or she has these, and if she can do it, I can do it. And it's all about, again, the camaraderie of us all supporting each other and lifting each other up to another place. I'm very competitive, as some of you very well know, and if I see that one of you has done something further or longer or harder or whatever than me, guaranteed in the next week or two, when I'm physically able to, I'll be out there pushing myself to see if I can beat it. And it's a healthy competition, because ultimately, guess what? We all get fit together. So make sure, if you didn't take time off at Christmas time, that you are balancing your mind and your body, because the old saying of healthy body, healthy mind, healthy business is so, so, so true. And of course, I'm going to set you some home play. And this month's home play is really interesting, so can't wait to share that with you. Okay, my quick disclaimer, as you know, that you see, but for the new people, these are just tips and strategies that I used during my Broke to BMW journey. And of course, for you, it's going to be your own journey. It's going to be very personal to you. Some things will work, some things won't, but it's my disclaimer to so, you know, you can't come back and sue me and take my pet monkey off me. It's just stuff that I'm sharing that's worked. And if you implement it, I'm sure it will get some results, but of course there's no guarantees in life like anything. So I want you to seriously stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. When I was putting this webinar together today, and I always put them together on the day of the webinar, because I see who's registered and I tune in to what you need. And as a lot of you know, I work extremely intuitively. And I don't know why, but these words just fell off my fingers into the slide. And for some of you, and I'm not sure who's going to be game enough to share, but someone needs to be told today that, oh, hang on, I've just seen an issue. Someone said they can't get a picture. Can everyone see the slides of the presentation that we're up to? Can you just type, someone saying they can't see the slide? It could be just at their end, but can everyone else see the slide that we're on? Okay, so a few of you can't see the slides. That's interesting. Oh, all of you. Excellent. All right, let me just my intro. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, let me just shut this down quickly. Right, because if you're not seeing the slides, as lovely as my voice is, that's not going to work. So I'm just going to quickly stop screen share and try and start it again. Just give me a sec. The gremlins have crept into our presentation. Just sing along to yourselves. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Won't be long. Yes, Mercury retrograde. I know, it's ridiculous. Okay, I've just shared the screen again. So I'm just going to click through to where I'm up to. So can someone let me know if that's any better? I'll have a Malteser, please, Lisa. The mum is on the bus. Say no, no, no. I know this song so well. My grandson, I sing it to him all the time. All right, so can you see the slides now? You see slides. Awesome. Okay, so you should be able to see the seriously stop it slide. Let me just go back. There wasn't really too much. No, so you haven't missed any of the good, funny, cool picture stuff. So let's get into it now. Okay. I want you guys to stop it, stop it, stop it, as I said, because someone on the webinar tonight, I'm not sure who, and if you want to fess up and write in the box private message in the chat or share it for everyone to see, someone on the webinar is procrastinating or getting in their own way, kind of the same thing. And this message is probably for you, but probably for pretty much everybody out there. It's time to just stop it. I'm not sure who needs this, and maybe it's all of you, and maybe it's even a message for me, but there are things that you're wanting to do. There are people that you want to pick the phone up and call. There is somebody that you're meant to be aligning with. There is a workshop or a seminar or a course or a book or something that you've been putting off. And the message loud and clear for the webinar when I was typing it tonight was to please stop it. Stop it. Enough is enough, isn't it? It's seriously, we're in 2015 now. It's the start of the year. We are in Mercury retrograde. Yes, there are some very uberly cool things going on at the moment. I get that. And trust me, in the last week for me, oh my gosh, you know, systems wise, I've had 2 websites being hacked. I've got systems galore getting built for another business. I've had opportunities that have just blown my socks and my knickers off, and it's all coming at me. And it's time just to say the word yes. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, it's time. It's time, guys. It's time. Otherwise, I don't want to do a follow-up webinar in 12 months from when we all get off the bus. We're going to get together for a reunion in 12 months' time. And I don't want to get on that bus and have a chat to you all and find out that we're still in the same place as we are today, because one, that's going to really tick me off big time, because as you know, I donate this time gorgeously for free and I love doing it, but I'm not doing it just so that you can listen to my voice and get a bit of a pep up and then go, hey, oh, wasn't that lovely? And now back to my life and back to my comfort zone. No. And also, two, you guys have given up your time and you've been on this for so long, and it's time that you guys get a result. So I really want you to think about it and say enough is enough, isn't it? If you have been putting up with things for a while, it's time to say that's it. Today, guess what the words are? Stop it. It is absolutely time now. It's month 10. I want you to ask yourself the question, the groupies that have been up the back seat of the bus and you know who you are, put the Maltesers down for a minute and ask yourself, are you where you want to be? Now, of course, we're not ever going to be at our final destination, and I really don't wish that for you, because your final destination is a box 6 foot under. But I want to ask you, the goals that you set when you hopped on this bus, are you where you want to be now? Because when I was at month 10 of my Broke to BMW journey, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it was not another train. So it is absolutely right now, this minute, at this exact moment, as soon as you hang up from this webinar, don't do it beforehand because you must listen to the rest of the content tonight. But as soon as you hang up from this webinar, after you come and chat with me on the group page, I want you to make a list of the things you've been putting off and commit either to me personally, by email, by message, or share it on the Broke to BMW group page for the other participants, because it's time to stop it. What comes up when we go into this place right now, even as I'm saying this, I have butterflies in my stomach, because there is something that I also want to really put myself out there. And you guys know I push myself pretty hard in business. I'm also pushing myself hard this year physically, doing 20-kilometer walks in 34-degree heat. That was crazy, but we did it. And I'm doing things a lot differently this year with my business, but also physically. So I'm also having butterfly stomachs in my stomach, because I know I'm also going to have to do these things that I'm telling you about. It's not just about me saying it, it's leading by example. So I'll share some stuff with you in the group as well later that I'm working on. And again, to hold myself accountable, but to let you know that I'm on this same journey as you. I might be the bus driver, but I'm on it, baby. Affirmations that I want you to concentrate on this week. while you're going through this particular stop it phase and just it's time phase, your affirmation is very simple. I just want you to say that everything will be okay. And print it out, put it in your bathroom, stick it in your visor in your car, put it on your dressing table, put it around your computer screen, just those 4 words. Everything will be okay. And when you say it, I want you to breathe deep and release and say, everything will be okay. This is what I used to do, guys. I tell you, some people look and listen to when I'm talking from stage and they go, wow, you've just shared your top principles of how you went broke to BMW. It sounds too easy. It is. It is really this easy. It really is. And everyone thinks that life is harder and it's meant to be difficult and there must be more to it than that. How is that all there is to it? Stop looking at it and trying to find problems in something and make things more difficult than they really are. These things are easy, and if you just do them persistently and consistently, they will pay off for you. Some of you may have shared that I've just been invited onto a business stage next month in Sydney for 170 entrepreneurs. Now, I have been busting myself and persisting to get on this stage for literally 2 years, and it's just come through. Why? Because my message and my words for 2015 are global awakening. So everything I'm teaching you, I am physically doing now. So everything will be okay, guys, and it is absolutely time. Oh, awesome. I just read one of the comments. Well done, Lisa. You wanted a sign, baby? I'll type it out for you and post it on your wall later. Sometimes we just need someone else to have a sign and share it with us, and I get them the same, and I'm glad that I could do that for you. And Kylie, well done. My gosh, you bought the book last week, listened to the first 9 webinars in a week, and you're inspired and so ready. Team show all the way. Oh, thank you. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. I just get this feeling that you are an absolute go-getter, and I think the guys on the bus better hang on to you and join teams with you, because I think you're going to kick some serious butt. Maltesers down. Awesome. Just checking that there's no questions in here. Yeah, what you focus on, you absolutely get. Excellent. Jeanette, that's great. I'm glad that we're on track. We've got the same messages coming through, because it is absolutely time. So everything will be okay is your affirmation, guys. Now, the next slide I want to cover with you is, oh, wow, we're running a bit late today. I'm clearly waffling, but I haven't seen you or heard you or talked to you for so long, so there's a lot to catch up on. Okay, focus. So I want to ask you, are you growing? Now, sometimes when I ask my clients this, they say, oh, I haven't really gone as far as I'd like to go. And that could be absolutely true. But what I want you to look at is how far you have come. Because it's not always, I don't hit every target I meet as well. I should have had a Y magazine out by now, and it's not out, and it's probably about halfway finished. It doesn't matter, because I look at the issue that we're trying to put together, and I look at the cover person and how absolutely awesome they are, and I look at all the stories and the content, and it doesn't matter that it's not out yet. The world won't fall apart if the magazine doesn't launch when it's supposed to launch, as much as it would be nice. I look at how far we have come putting the issue together, and I remind myself that it's an issue put together to inspire business owners. It's not going to kill a country if it doesn't come out on the right day. So don't beat yourself up with maybe everything that you haven't achieved. Look at what you have achieved. But if you are not pushing yourself because of procrastination or fear or any of the things we've covered, then yes, give yourself a big kick up the backside. It's not going to be possible for you to do yourself, but get someone around you who's on your team to kick you up the backside and say, come on, you can do more than that. And the other question I want to ask you is, are you learning information, be it from me, from any other course, from a book, from a webinar, from wherever, and not implementing it? Do you know that knowledge that's gained that isn't implemented is as good as not knowing it altogether. There's no point having the knowledge in your head taking up prime real estate unless you're going to do something with it. Now, some of the knowledge you may be learning now, you don't need right now, and I get that, but make sure that you have a diary or a notebook, or you use Evernote and you jot those ideas down, because at some point you'll need to plug them into your business or your life. But make sure that you're jotting them down and saying, okay, when I get my business to this stage, I will implement this idea that I've learnt from this webinar, Broke to BMW Month 7, or webinar from whoever on this date, or the book on my shelf, page 62, whatever it is. Make sure you reference where you've learned it from and know when to plug it into your business. But do that and make the action steps around it, because otherwise, seriously, filling your head with lots of stuff, including the information on here, is an absolute waste of time unless you're going to do something with it. You have to apply the knowledge that you've learned now, or place it in a place where you can get to it. And the other thing that you really need to get is it is absolutely trial and error. The strategies I've worked and I've used, and again, I'm only ever going to say, and I know the webinar's a lot about my stuff because that's what it's about. It's a journey that I went on. That's all I can talk about on this webinar is my story, my journey, the things that worked, the things that didn't. And, you know, some of the strategies that I did, I used in Broke to BMW, and they worked well, and some didn't work so well. But the strategy I felt was really good. So I thought, okay, well, if it hasn't worked well now, maybe I can just shelve it, and I write them down in Evernote, and I have my ideas kind of segmented into different notebooks on Evernote, and then for different stages of the business, so marketing ideas, you know, internet, online ideas, etc. And isn't it interesting, things that I learned a few years ago, I'm now referencing now as I'm going more into an online model this year with a lot of my workshops and my online membership site. A lot of those things that I needed are now going to work, because they didn't work for me then. Either I wasn't ready, my branding wasn't right, no one really knew me, I didn't have the confidence, not sure. And some of the things just didn't work, but you must try them and then critique them and then see if it's the wrong time for that idea, then shelve it. If it's the right time for the idea, then tweak it to get it right, because there are no magic pills. Everybody out there selling to you will say that their product service is the best thing, and yes, it will be, but it has to be the right time for you and your business. The other thing I want to say and ask you, I guess, is what skills can you teach? Now, for those that have been on the journey the whole time, you've learned a lot, not just from me, but the things that you've learned about yourself and the things you've changed in your business. Now, at what point are you going to share those skills with other people? Because in month 10 of my journey is when I started to mentor other businesses. And the faster you give your skills and knowledge away, guess what happens? The faster you get them back. So in the chat box, can you tell me if you are teaching your skills that you've learned in the last 10 months or so with other people, or if you are planning on doing it? I'd love to hear from you. What are you manifesting right now? So when you look at your life, what is the dialogue that's going on in your head constantly? Is it, oh my gosh, I've got kids going back to school, I have no money, wow, I've just come off Christmas, I spent more than I should have, why did I eat that extra chocolate cake? Oh wait, that was my one. I made the best chocolate cake yesterday, it was gorgeous. Put raw dark chocolate in it as well, and it went all gooey. Oh, it was yum. Ate too much, but I did walk 10K yesterday, so I'm sure I burnt it off. Anyway, back to the webinar. But what are you manifesting right now? What's the dialogue going through your head? What are you concentrating on right now? Are you thinking about all the things and regrets that you had over the Christmas period? Are you going, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Why did I eat those things? Why did I spend all that money? Why did I? It's not going to get anywhere. It's absolutely not going to work. So you may as well kind of stop it and then reprogram yourself. Stop it. Isn't that interesting? That seems to be the theme of the webinar. You may as well reprogram yourself and tell yourself the things that you do need to manifest right now. Okay, so What are you manifesting right now? Be very clear, because for those that are interested in all the energy, Mercury retrograde is going on until about the 11th or 12th of February. You can Google it. There's lots of people talking about it and can tell you everything that you manifest now is going to set yourself up for the year. So Maria is, I know, on the webinar, and Lisa would probably know about this. A few of you are into this and to have more understanding, but feel free to chat, share a link in the Broke to BMW group afterwards for people that don't know about it. But make sure what you're manifesting now is the biggest picture of what you can have, because, and you must say yes, yes, yes to things that come up when you're during this period as well, because the universe is delivering things to you based on the bigger picture. So you have to say yes so that it can happen. You may not know why this opportunity has come up for you, but just say yes, because the universe has your back. And also check your thoughts. Is it based around scarcity versus abundance? And often it's just a shift in our languaging. Nice self-talk there, Jeanette. Well done. And Kylie, awesome. And Maria, yay, 21st February is your day, honey. Scarcity versus abundance. Think about your mindset. Think about when you get that bill in the mail that you weren't expecting, and it was a higher value than you thought you had to pay out. What's the first thoughts that come to your head? And learn to stop yourself and say, wow, I'm so grateful for this bill, because the universe will never send you something that you aren't capable of paying. So be grateful for it, because that means there's money on the way that you're also not expecting. But if you go into why me, oh my gosh, this is so hard, how am I ever going to pay this, I'm never going to get out of it, guess what? That also manifests. So every time something happens that's not quite to your plan, just accept that it is part of your bigger plan that's for the best for you. The universe does have your back, and accept it, be grateful for it, and say this is an amazing period. Don't just look at the dollars in your bank account. Everybody's business bank accounts go up and down, mine included, and we've just come off festive season. And if you don't have products or services that you sell online over that period, a lot of people do go into slow cash flow. It's not the end of the world. Absolutely not the end of the world. But if you look at it and look at all the things you're grateful for, and look at how you can get yourself through, it happens. Awesome. Well done, Lisa. Choosing joy, happiness, and success. That's a great way to be. Fear has gone away. Awesome. Excellent. Well done, Cheryl. Great. Okay. Now, which one do you prefer? As an African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And a lot of you on the webinar, some of you I know really, really, really well, and others I'm just meeting now. But for anyone who knows me for more than 2 seconds knows that I love to do things with a team of people. I won't even just go out for lunches, dinners by myself often, because I'm always texting my friends, and they know, expect a text or a Facebook message in a private girlfriend group I've got. Hey, who's around? Who wants to do something? I love other people's company, and I don't want to go on my business journey alone, which is why I do programs like this, to help you guys get yourselves on track, so that we can all make money together, because then we can cruise the Greek Isles together, we can travel, we can go to holidays, retreats in Thailand, we can do all sorts of things. It's much better to do things with other people, and collectively you've got a group of business minds all coming at it from different walks of life that can add value to your thoughts and your business and move forward a lot faster. So it's so important to surround yourself with the right people. And if you've listened to all the webinars to now, you know I talk about your six people so very often, and we'll continue to talk about it when I have sessions with clients as well, because the people that you surround yourself with, especially your six, is everything. And the acronym for team, which I'm sure you've heard and I've talked about on the webinar as well before, is that together everyone achieves more. And are you working alone, or are you working with others? Now, the thing that I found when I went broke to BMW, there was a couple of times in there because of the stresses I had, because of the financial embarrassment I had, because of, you know, the pressures of people chasing me and debt collectors and all the rest of it, I hid for a period of time. So therefore I didn't share, excuse me, excuse me. So I didn't share what was going on for me because it was the whole embarrassment kind of thing. Then when I got myself through that and thought, wow, this is not going to work. If I'm going to get through this, I have to be vulnerable. I have to be open. I have to share what's going on with my business to some people around me that I know, love and trust, because how are they possibly going to help me if they don't know what's going on? So I started to share it. And of course, collectively, with the ideas that were coming and suggestions from people around me, I was able to get through it. So I do want you to try and think about who is surrounding you right now. And for those that haven't formulated your 6 people, again, it's time, people. It's time to do this. Okay, Andrew, great question. Happy to have a chat with you in the group or message me after. I've got some ideas that I can help you with there and some people I can put you in touch with. Thanks, Jeanette. I have got some water. I probably just need to drink it. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, and are you being mentored? And if not, why not? And I don't want anyone to write in there, I can't afford it. Okay, there is always a way to get knowledge from experts, that the experts that you need right now to move your business forward. There is always a way to get it, always. And you don't always have to pay for it. There are ways that you can get knowledge for free from, of course, the internet. There's lots of webinars out there, some really, really good ones, some great leaders offering up their time and advice for free. There's YouTube videos galore. There are programs and courses costing next to nothing a month, and you're in with a pool of people all going through the same thing, which is great because you can all swim together and rather than against the tide with it. And of course, if you have got some money to pay, if you're ready to really ramp your business up and get some faster results, find yourself someone, and please don't think this is about me getting clients, because actually I don't take any new clients on at the moment, so this is nothing to do with me. I would suggest that you find someone out there, and if you're not sure who you need and you have some dollars to spend, you want to run it past me. I kind of know some people out there who are really good, who can help, and they all work with clients at different levels of the business and at different stages of the business. So if you want to bounce some people off me and you're not sure if I know them or if I don't, I can certainly find out for you and get back to you. Please use me as a sounding board. Happy to help. The only thing I run at the moment are the 3-hour sessions. I don't have any space in any of my programs at the moment. But the other exercise that I want you to do is let me start again. The exercise that I want you to do, which I'll go through at the very end as well, is about working out your value, what you're actually worth. All of your skills and all of your life experiences up until now are worth something. Every job you've worked for, you've been paid a salary. Every course that you've done, if you've got a degree or university certificates or TAFE certificates or workshops that you've been on, if you're coming to Y Weekend or been to Y Weekend, everything that you've done to gain the knowledge in your life up until this moment is worth something. Every life experience, if you could put a value on your life experiences, what would they be? This is an exercise that does take, it should take at least an hour to do in depth. Every book that you've read, what's it worth? If you read 10 books a year for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, however old you are, what are they worth? When you look at the final figure, when you total all of that up for your life, what are you worth today at the age that you're at? You will be amazed at what you're worth. And one thing I know is that you're definitely not charging what you're worth. Every client, and I mean every client that I have ever done this exercise with, has undervalued their service that they offer because it comes naturally to them, because it's their genius zone. They don't place a value on it. So I guarantee if I did this exercise with you, you would be undervaluing based on what you're worth. And some of you are sitting there going, yep, that's me. And I did the same thing. I used to charge a lot less for mentoring, for my regular sessions when I used to run them, than what I charge now, because that was where my belief level was at. And I thought, who's going to pay someone going broke to BMW for this experience? But what I didn't realize is that's exactly why they would pay what they now pay, because I did go through all of those things and got such a phenomenal result. And that's why they will pay you as well. You must also be part of groups or communities that lift you. And the reason I put lift in capitals is because it is all about surrounding yourself with the right people. Apart from having your six, you also need to have groups and people around you in communities, networking groups, mastermind groups, social groups, tennis groups, whatever group you want to be a part of, that lift you. People often say that, obviously, you know that I run the Y Network groups on the east coast of Australia, and I have chapter managers who run the local chapters, but we often get feedback from guests who've come to the first time saying that they have never felt so supported and embraced at an event like this before. Members say that it lifts them up, and it's like their monthly dose of injection of inspiration that they get. You must have a place like that you go to, because life is tough and business can be tough if you're not following these things. But when you surround yourself with people and you're constantly getting, well done, Jeanette, go Andrew, woohoo, look at you go, Lisa. How do you feel flat by that? There's just no way that you can feel flat. All you do is feel embraced and supported and lifted up. And that's what we should be surrounding ourselves with. If there are places you're going to now that don't do that, I suggest that you just keep away from them for the next couple of months until you get through this journey, until you hop off the bus, because then you'll be stronger and equipped to deal with it, and you'll know how to shut it out. I still go to places that by choice, not because I'm forced to, just because I know that I can add a bit of value now, but I still go to some places that are quite negative, just because I want to, I want to observe it and see how it is, and if I can make a difference by me being so upbeat and positive. But I am the odd one out. But my personality is strong enough to deal with it and water off a duck's back when I leave. And I hear comments like, who does she think she is? And that's great, because it's also a lesson to myself to know that I'm on the right path. Because if it's so glaringly obvious to them that I am different, then I know I'm on the right path, because I'm being true to myself. And I want to be around people who lift me up and say, well done, not pull me down and say, who does she think she is? So think about your own circumstances at the moment and where you're spending your time. Look at your diary for the next month. Look at the events you're going to, and see which one of those, when you look at, go, oh my God, I can't wait for that Y Network Gold Coast launch. I can't wait to hear Rachel. I can't wait to, is it that kind of feeling? Or is it a feeling of, oh, that's on, I have to go to it? So you'll know the answer to that, but just make sure that you're spending time in the right places with the right people. Your why, of course, you know I'm going to be talking about it. For those that have seen it, I have launched now, finally. It's taken 12 months to put together, purposefinder.com.au. I'm actually really, 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 really proud of this course. It's pretty much plucked out the key elements and activities of what I take people through at a Y weekend. Now, I'm not going to say that it will replace a live Y weekend, because it just absolutely can't. It will definitely give you the result, but there is nothing better than being in a room full of people who are there for the same reason. And some of you on the webinar have been to a live Y weekend, and you might want to share in the chat box how it was for you. And what you got out of it. There is something magical about being in a room full of people wanting to find their purpose in life, because they're just so vulnerable and so open, and it's just magic. However, I'm realistic, and I know that not everyone can come to a Y weekend, either can't take a couple of days out of their life with children or commitments, or it's too far away, and also it's a different price point. So I have developed Purpose Finder. At the moment, during the launch phase, it's a ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, because it's 6 weeks online content delivered to your inbox. There is a training video from me every week. There is content that you download. It takes 2 to 3 hours a week to do the exercises. It is absolutely brilliant, and I'm getting some feedback from people who bought it at the launch a week ago, and they're already getting value out of it. So it's a ridiculous $147 to do the course. That is only for the launch period. After that, it goes up to $197. Not a huge amount still, but it does go up. So if you're interested, jump on purposefinder.com.au. And for those that do want to come to the live one, if you're really ready to kickstart the year properly, 14th and 15th of March at the Intercontinental Sanctuary Cove, findmyy.com.au, as you know. Now, month 10. Month 10, for those that have the book, it's all about the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the moment where I noticed that, wow, my bills were getting down, and I used to do a little ritual of when I'd paid a bill out, because along the way of paying the bill and making the regular payments, I would just write the payment on the front of the bill of the date that I made it, and the date that I made it, and the date that the amount that I paid, and what was the remaining balance, just so that I could consistently remind myself what was left, because there's nothing worse than just saying, okay, I paid $100 off this, if the bill's say a few $1,000s, $100, and you've got no idea what's left. So every time you look at the bill, all you're doing is seeing the original amount, and that can be quite depressing. So I used to write $100 and $2,900 left, $2,800 left, etc., etc. So that encouraged me that every time I wrote that figure down, I could see that the total amount was reducing. So I was training myself to get excited by that reducing figure, which made me want to keep paying chunks of it off. So what was happening about month 10 was I was noticing that when a bill was finished, I would then put a line from the bottom left corner of the bill straight up the A4 sheet of paper to the right and write a big paid all over it with smiley faces, and I'd file it and get rid of it out of my sight, out of the to be paid file. And that was such an amazing process to do, because I noticed that the folder was getting less and less. So what happens when the bills reduce, your attitude, or my attitude, was improving. And I noticed that I was getting more excited, and I couldn't wait to pay the bills because I knew that there weren't many left. And the other thing that I was looking at the time in month 10 was what events and courses I could run to bring in that last bit of cash flow that I needed, because I also had more knowledge now. So I thought, well, why aren't I sharing this? The faster I can share the knowledge, the faster I'm going to get more knowledge, and that could be the knowledge I need to really finish this journey. So I want to ask you the question: what events or courses could you be running right now to help you? What courses could you be running, or what events could you be running, or what webinars could you be running? Could you run a free webinar that then funnels into a paid webinar? Doesn't need to be expensive. You can just make it free webinar into a $47 webinar, but you get 100 people on that. Who's got a calculator? That's $4,700. So again, none of this stuff is difficult, and don't sit there and go, I can't do a webinar. I'm literally sitting in my office in my beautiful house dress, which is really comfy. I've got the air on. I'm looking at my orphanage teddy bear when I'm not looking at the screen, and I'm having a great old chat, and I'm scanning the chat as I go through so I know that you're all still there. It's not difficult. All I'm doing is sharing my experience and my knowledge with you, and I feel comfortable because I'm in the privacy of my own office. So you can absolutely do this as well. You can do this, and you probably do a much better job than I do. So what could you be doing right now that you could implement and start marketing tomorrow and launch in 3 weeks' time? I would recommend a 2 to 3 week marketing period to get enough people onto it or into it. If it's a live event, definitely minimum. If it's a live event, I would even say 6 weeks. but what could you be doing? And I bet you every one of you could be doing something. The difference is, will you do it? For the ones that do it will get a result. The ones that think about it, guess what? Won't. And the word stop it want to come up in my mind again. If you're thinking you can't do it, stop it. You can, and it's time. Momentum is picking up and word is spreading. What I noticed in month 10 was that people were sensing my attitude shift. They were sensing my energy picked up. My mood was shifting because I knew that my bills folder was getting less and less. I used to have 2 big fat bill folders. I was down to less than half in one folder only. That energy shifted when I went out to events. I felt different. I felt lighter. I felt like, oh my God, I'm nearly there. And I was getting excited. And of course, people I were meeting were feeling that energy. And what happens when people feel energy, there's momentum that kicks in, and momentum spreads very fast, very fast. Even since today, I announced that I've been put onto this, I've been invited to speak on BMW Month stage next month. I've had 2 other inquiries since then to speak for events or go on to another tele summit. That's just come from this afternoon, because what happens is when you start to shift, things shift, and people that were already there waiting start to come out of the woodwork. Energy is lifting, you attract a lot more business. It's like if you go for a long walk, and I'm relating everything to long walks at the moment, because when you walk from, well, 20 kilometres, I won't tell you the areas because some of you aren't local, but I walked from pretty much our place 10 kilometres away, and then, 20 kilometres away, and then got the train back. But when you come into your street after you've been for a long walk or a long run, and you come back into your street, it's that moment of, oh, I've made it. It's that moment, and there's no other way to explain it. You'll all know what that means to you. It could be as you get to your stairs of your house, or as you get to your elevator if you live in an apartment building or wherever. But it's that moment of, oh, thank God I made it. It's that moment, it's that energy that I want you to have now and for the rest of the webinars, because that's what you need to carry you through. And are you creating a buzz about your business, or are you being a best kept secret? You know me, I share everything, good, bad, and otherwise, because it creates a buzz. One, they say she's a real person. I'm not some make-believe Facebook person. It's not a picture of my wedding day 22 years ago coming up. Gee, that's a long time. You only get 7 for murder. I didn't think that through, did I? Anyway, it's getting late. I'm getting a bit loopy. But are you creating a buzz, or are you keeping it all to yourself? And no, you know, if you don't tell anyone the great things that are going, how are you going to magnetize people into your tribe? People, your tribe want to know what you're doing. You're their leader. You're the one that they look up to. If I sit there and don't tell you what's happening in my life, it's not for me to put out there and go, well done, Shah, good on you. Mind you, keep those comments coming, because they do fuel my tank and I love them. But it's not really just for that. It's to show you that I'm doing all the things that I'm teaching you guys to do and can help you do. And here are the results that come. And trust me, I'm only 1 to 2 footsteps, literally, only 1 to 2 footsteps away from most of you, probably all of you. So if I don't show you and light the way up for you, how are you going to see what's possible? But that buzz creates more business. It creates more momentum. My inquiries will go up in the next week just because of me being asked to speak on such an amazing stage it's such a hard stage to get onto. And it's such an honor to be on it. But that will create more business. So what are you doing? Have you been asked to speak and then you've said no because it wasn't the right time, or you're not sure what? Have you stopped it? What if you had said yes? I want to encourage you all to say yes. And please stop it. If you're saying no, stop it. I love this picture. On my sharmore.com.au website, I do write a blog. I will definitely tell you it is not a regular, consistent thing. It's when the mood takes me, and I know that goes against all blogging advice, but it's when the mood takes me, I write a blog. So if you go to sharmore.com.au, top right corner, you'll see blog. You can read through all my garble there. But this is one I wrote the other day because I'm extremely passionate about the fact that I believe New Year's resolutions are a thing of the past. And because we are in January, and if you're listening to the recording 5 years from now, that's great. But this particular webinar was recorded in January and it's relevant for now. So it's a funny picture, but it's also very true. So many people hit the 3rd, 4th week of January and they absolutely can't remember where they wrote the New Year's resolutions, let alone what was on the piece of paper. Because typically they're written on the 1st of January after they've woken up from a hangover for those that drink. Even if you don't drink, if you've celebrated the night in, you've had a big night, you're having a bit of a sleep in, probably having brunch with a partner or family members, and you get out a piece of paper and you say, right, we've been told in society we need to jot down our goals for the year, so let's do it. And we write all this stuff down based on the traditional ones of, oh, we should lose about 10 kilo, 5 kilo, 1 kilo, 60 kilo, whatever. Probably should start walking and exercising. Probably should either stop smoking or stop the chocolate or stop this or stop the that. And these are the kind of standard things that we get taught to write about. None of them are connected to our purpose in life or our values. So therefore, guess what happens? They are literally just words on a piece of paper. Some of them you have every best intention of doing, however, they're not linked to your purpose in life. And I believe the way forward is the whole trend that's taken place that I've noticed this year is words. So as I mentioned earlier, my words for 2015 are global awakening. The only way that I believe I have the power to wake up the globe, and I say globe in the sense of all the people that are part of the Y tribe globally who I know are ready to find their purpose and more importantly live it. The only way that I can wake up the globe is by helping them find their purpose, because it shines a light on the whole reason that they are here and that they were born, but also that their gifts are lying within their purpose in life. And when you set a plan around your purpose in life, you are connected to it because it's why you're here. You're passionate about it, so therefore you're going to make it happen. And yes, absolutely, you do need accountability, and that's why I have so many of the programs I have, and they all have a buddy system, because without accountability, there's nothing. That's why the new Facebook page, ShareFit, that I just started, has accountability in it. We have to share what we're going to do so that we can be held accountable. Definitely we need accountability. That was a comment from Jeanette just then. And stop planning for the sake of it. There's no point. Unless you plan with a structure. Even planning needs a plan, but it also needs a structure. So start planning on the things that matter, and planning really is everything. And I'm running, for those that happen to be local, I am running a 2015 planning session next week at Raby Bay at Y Network event. It's open for members and guests, but we are going to be taking a bit longer. The event will run over just for this one because we are going to be hands-on with our marketing, our business, and our social media plan. But please try and plan with intention and purpose. Don't just do it because someone's told you to. And my tip for the month, that's a picture that I use in one of the slideshows that in the videos, sorry, that we play for the orphanage we're opening in Thailand. And I just want you to remember, and the tip this month is really be grateful for what you have, because whilst none of us will ever have all the things that we want to have or we believe we deserve to have, that's part of the journey of life, is to kind of look for the next thing. But rather than consistently trying to chase the next thing, why don't you just be grateful for what you have right now and be happy for what you have right now? And I want you to be a bit more courageous. Some of you are taking really big chances, and I know without sharing it, but actually I will share it. Maria Brady, my gorgeous friend on the bus and in my life in so many ways, has just really, really gotten very courageous and is running her workshops and running retreats and really backing herself. And 2015 is so her year. And I know that Lisa's doing similar things with her brands, and actually quite a few of you, Debbie and Cheryl, and lots of you are really backing yourself. But really be courageous. Just see yourself as a big lion and tiger in the jungle. And when something comes your way that's not quite how you thought it would be, and you might see it as a setback. I want you to roar like a lion at the top of your lungs on the top of the mountain, and just go for it. Just roar and just really get it out there and say, I'm still going to go for it. Even though it's not what I thought, I'm going to do it, because the universe has you back this year. And I just want you to really step out of your comfort zone and go for it. So your home plate. Here's something I want you to do. And again, I know that not everyone will do it, and I have no influence after this webinar as to who does what. That's not my business. My business is just to show you the way and show you what's possible. What you do with it now is up to you. But I would like you all, every one of you on this webinar, on the bus tonight, to increase your prices. The universe has shifted, costs have shifted, people are expecting to pay more for a service, and the fastest way to lose clients is if you're not charging enough for your service. The fastest way to increase your business is to triple your prices. Now, I know not all of you, or maybe any of you, will triple your prices because that takes a lot of courage, and you do need a good, strong mentor to help you. But I do suggest you increase your prices. Really fine-tune who your avatar is, your ideal client. Really get to know who they are, their buying patterns, their sleeping patterns, their eating patterns, their shopping patterns, their educational patterns, their everything about them, as if they're your best friend. And then increase your prices accordingly to that market. That's exactly what I take my clients through in my 3-hour sessions, and that is the most valuable thing I can teach them, because their avatar will potentially not buy your avatar will potentially not buy your product or service if the price is too cheap. Not too expensive, too cheap. And that's where people go so horribly wrong. I did about 15 of these sessions over the holidays because I don't run events and I get bored, and trust me, no one likes me at home when I'm bored. So I did so many of these sessions, and all the clients that I worked with, we all put everybody's prices up because we really fine-tuned who their avatar was. So promise me you'll look at it. Even if it's a few dollars, do something, but move it upwards, not backwards. Get a mentor, free or paid. Go get yourself one. If you're not sure, ask me a question. I offer 10-minute discovery calls to everybody. Some of you on the bus I've done these with before. For those that I haven't, feel free to, actually I'll post a link in the Facebook group after, of a new form that I've got. So if you want to ask a few questions, go through the form and we can have a 10-minute chat. And tell me who your buddy is and what you've achieved. I did ask everyone to find a buddy in the group on the bus. And for those that are new, I do want you to find yourself a buddy in the Broke to BMW group. And the reason I say in the group is it must be someone who's going on the same journey as you right now. They could be behind you or ahead of you on the journey. It doesn't matter, but they must be within this bubble of security, because everybody on the bus I trust. Everybody on the bus is going on the same journey as you. Everybody on the bus wants the same thing that you want, which is to find and live their purpose in life and also be the best version of themselves that they can be. So you must get a buddy in the group, and tell me who your buddy is. So we can write all of this in the group page. Just tell me who your buddy is. But then I also want you to hold them accountable and make sure that these home play exercises that they're doing and you're doing, okay? And do the value exercise and share it with me. So work out what you're worth and then share it with me, because I think you'll be very fascinated to know what you are actually worth, and compare that to what you're charging, and you'll probably find a very big disparity. And that could be why you're not getting the business that you're meant to be getting, because you're being perceived as undervalued by your avatar and they won't want to deal with you. Pricing is so, so, so very important. The Broke to BMW site has gremlins. So if anyone doesn't have a copy of the book, shoot me an email at shah@shahmore.com.au and I can, we can sort it out, and I'll post it to you tomorrow if you'd like a copy of the book. It does have places for you to write down your homework and exercises in there. You can also go onto Amazon and Kindle and search for the title. Make sure you put From Broke to BMW in 18 months, not just Broke to BMW. You can download it straight away, so you can be working on it tonight if you'd like to. There's lots of ways to get the book. You know all the ways to find me. I'm very easy to find, so do that. And we are a few minutes over, so I am going to wrap up. Any questions, I'm going to jump onto the group page now. I'll be on there for the next 25 minutes until 8:30 Brisbane time to answer any questions live. Please write them, comments, questions, feedback, anything you'd like, write it in the pinned post. And if it's something private, just friend request me if we're not friends and send me a private message so we can have a chat. I'm all yours for the next 25 minutes and happy to give my time away to help. So just go for it. The next webinar is the 23rd of February, which will be month 11. And then in March, we wrap up the webinars. Wow, we wrap up the journey for the 12-month Broke to BMW webinar series, which is very exciting. And hopefully we'll have lots of good news, success stories to go through. And guys, look, if you're not as far along as you thought you would, don't get discouraged by that. It can be normal sometimes to go backwards before we go forwards. And at one of the webinars I talked about sometimes life will really like take the legs out from under you and you're literally so low to the ground. But as I mentioned in one of the webinars, sometimes when we jump high, if we're standing tall and try to jump, we don't jump very high. But if we crouch down to the ground and then take a jump up, it's amazing how far we can jump, and often we jump much further. So don't get discouraged, keep going. Remember the key things from tonight, stop it, and it's time. I wish you all the best, and I'll be jumping over to the Facebook page now. Thank you so much for being awesome. I'm going to quickly read all the comments, and I'll see you over there in a second. Bye for now.